like Kim Possible right now. Anyway, hello. Welcome to another episode of Boss Up and Glow Up with Lexi Sample. We always talk about how to better yourself. This is a self help podcast. We are glowing the fuck up this year. No, I should say we're glowing the fuck up every single year. Each and every year should be better, never worse. Last year, awful. I'm glad we're in 2025. 2025 has been amazing. So, watch this podcast and let's go up together. Now, we always hear the term, if they wanted to, they would. I recently came across this girl who said, if you wanted to, you would. And that really resonated with me because I was like, wow, like I'm always saying to people, like, if they wanted to, they would, yada, yada, yada. But like, if I wanted to, I would. If you wanted to, you would. So why don't we take this and apply it to our goals and ourselves? Let's say, for example, you are out shopping and you see a pair of jeans that you like. You think they're the cutest jeans ever, and you're like, I have to have them. I need them in my closet. That would look good with so many shirts I have. And you're going to purchase the jeans, no questions asked. Why don't we apply that same mentality to our goals? I hear people saying all the time, oh, I really want to start posting more and making money on social media. I want to get fit. I want to get healthy. But they constantly don't do it. They're not consistent with it. They're all talk and no effort. And that's what we need to talk about today, because if you really wanted something, you would go chase that shit, okay? You would rather have a little bit of discomfort and being uncomfortable with starting something new, because it's always uncomfy starting something new, but I would rather be uncomfortable for a short amount of time rather than being uncomfortable and regretting I didn't do something for the rest of my life, okay? I don't want to live with regret, and I'm sure you don't want to live with regret either. Let me ask you something. If somebody followed you around for a week straight, would they believe you when you say you are serious about your goals? Would they believe you're serious about your goals if they followed you around all week and saw everything you did? Or are you more talk and not really putting in the full effort? People say this all the time. I hear people always saying, like, I want to eat healthy, I want to work out, I want to go to the gym, I want to get my dream body for summer. But then when the time comes to actually work out, they're like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. I could be doing something else. That's just an excuse. There is no reason not to go, because guess what? There are so many gyms that are open 24 hours. And you don't even need to go to the gym. You know how many at-home workouts you can do? Just go on YouTube and type at-home legs, at-home arms, at-home anything. Something. Anything is better than nothing. Even just going on a dang walk or a jog or something, just move your body is a start. It is a step in the right direction. I know going to the gym isn't easy. I know it's going to take some steps to get there. And if you need to go out and take walks first or do at-home workouts first to just get comfortable with moving your body, that's fine. But stop saying you want to do something and you want to move your body, but not doing the actions that go with it. Or the same thing goes for the people that say they want to make money on social media, but they're like, I'm scared to pick up the camera. I don't want people to judge me. Who the fuck cares? Nobody really truly cares that much. They might come across your video, like let's say someone from high school is scrolling on TikTok and then you start posting, like an influencer, for example, and they're like, ugh, this is so cringe. Why is she doing that? Why does she think she can be an influencer? But then guess what? They're going to scroll in the next 15 seconds and then you're not even on their mind anymore. Nobody actually gives that much of a fuck. So why should you give a fuck either? No one cares. This is all on you. You are entitled to your whole entire life. Your world is your oyster. Any dream, any goal you have, you can achieve, but you need to put the time into it. Stop saying, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Are you showing that you want it? If I follow your ass around all week and you're not putting in the actions and you're just telling me, oh, I really want to be this bitch. I really want to start a business. I really want to do this. I want to do that. And I'm not seeing actions and you're just sitting on the couch all day, or you're going out every single weekend and partying and not really focusing on your goals, I'm not going to fucking believe you that you're serious about your goals. Now, I do my work and I plan my goals for the whole entire week. During the week is when I do my hard work, and then I try to like relax on the weekends. But if I feel like I personally did not get enough stuff done during the week, or I feel like I'm backwards behind on my goals, I don't feel like I deserve to have fun or relax during the weekends. That might be toxic, but that's just how I think because I think goals first, play later. Do you see billionaires sitting on the couch all day just saying, "Ugh, damn, like, I wish I could be this person. I wanna do this, I wanna do that." No, they're literally off their ass and actually doing it. Do you see billionaires clubbing it up every weekend? No, they're planning their next venture. Like, you're not seeing billionaires do these things. They're successful for a reason. They're successful because they are not spending their time doing things that don't serve them. They know their time is valuable. Time is the most valuable thing that you have, okay? Because it is limited. We are not here. We don't know when we're going to be gone. So, would you rather spend your life wishing you accomplished something more? Would you? I think you should get the fuck up and get it done because if you wanted to be in that career, you wanted to start your business, you would be doing the steps to get there. And yes, I understand life is life, life gets busy, life gets crazy. We don't always have the motivation. I'm not saying it is never okay to relax once in a while. It's never okay to go out. That is not what I want you to take from this episode. I want you to realize that your goals should be your number one priority versus like partying or relaxing or anything that doesn't really serve you. I hear people say all the time, "Oh, I want to be rich. I want to succeed. I want to do this. I want to do that." But they never leave the club. So when are you actually putting in the work if you're just out drinking all the time? You're not really putting in the work. You're not focusing on your business. You're not focusing on your goals. You're letting fun get in the way of your goals. Now, again, I'm not saying never have fun. Yes, having fun every once in a while is good. Like you should have fun on the weekends, but I don't want fun to get in the way of your goals. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want you to prioritize fun over your goals. It should be goals and then fun, if that makes sense. Because again, if you wanted to be that bitch, you would make fucking sure you're that bitch. Apply this mentality to your goals, y'all. You have to, because if someone is doing something wrong towards you and they're making you feel like they don't care, you'd be like, well, if they wanted to, they would. If you wanted to be that bitch, you would make sure you're that bitch. Period. You would do it. This same rule and mentality also applies to friendships and relationships. Let's start with friendships. We're all busy. I get it. I completely understand it. We're all adults. We all have our careers, we have families, we have our relationships. We have so many things we need to worry about. But if you are constantly trying to hang out with one of your friends and they're always giving you an excuse, they're like, no, I can't. Which I get it. Like, you can kind of gaze if they're actually busy or if they're just giving excuses. Because I have had friends in the past where they would get a boyfriend and then all of a sudden, ghost, crickets. I would not hear from them until they break up, which I don't like that at all because that's one of those, if they wanted to, they would situations. And I want to make sure you don't be that person either. That if you really cared about your best friend, your partner, your family, anyone, you would make sure you are spending the time and the effort to see them. Life is short. We need to make sure we are seeing the people we care about. If they're important to you, you will make sure you see them. It needs to be reciprocated too. Like if they wanted to see you, they would see you. It's not a one-way street. Friendship should never be a one-way street. So you need to make sure you're not being a bad friend and you're putting in the effort too, cuz having friends is an effort. It's not like you just don't have them. You have to put in effort for that friendship because if you're not putting in effort to hang out with your friend or you're ghosting your friend when they need you the most, they're not going to be friends with you anymore. You need to make sure you're there for your friend. If you want to be there for your friend when they're upset, when they're going through a tough time, you will. You're not just going to ignore them, make everything about yourself. You're going to be their friend. And that's what a friendship is all about. And this applies to relationships too. Like, I've had relationships where my boyfriend just didn't put any effort in, and I'm like, ugh, they don't give a fuck about me. Like, they never take me on dates. I never get flowers. I never get anything, but they love me and they never do anything to make me happy. They're just there and existing. If they wanted to show appreciation for me, they would. And you need to think about that for yourself too. Like, if you are somebody in a relationship and sometimes like showing you care is a little bit harder, like you're more of a verbal person and you're not good with affection or showing the person that you truly care about them, it's all about effort. A relationship should never be easy. I mean, it should be easy sometimes. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but it's not easy, especially to start out. You have to put in effort. You can't just like la da dee, la da do, la da da, and have like a perfect relationship. That's not how life works. You need to make sure you are doing everything you can for your partner. And that's what I like to do. I like to put in as much effort as I can. Like, how I want to be treated, I try to treat my partner. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, they just don't think about it. And it's something you need to think about. Because if you wanted to be with that person, you would make sure you are with that person. I can't stand when people are like, oh, I love them. I want to be with them, but I'm just not ready. If you actually truly love them and you actually truly wanted to be with them, you would be ready. If you wanted to, you would, but you don't really want to. You want to string that person along and have your cake and eat it too. And that's how that's going to play out. And that's not what we want. We need to make sure we are showing that we care, because if not, we're going to lose all the people we care about. We care about our friends, we care about our partners, we care about our family. So we need to make sure we are putting in that effort to see them, to speak to them, to be there for them when they need us, because we want them to be there for us. So it needs to go both ways. It is not a one-way street. It should never be. We're going to lose our friends if we are not putting in the effort to be with them. If we wanted them to be our friends, we would make sure we keep them. This mentality is huge with helping you take accountability for your actions. A lot of people struggle with taking accountability. Don't say you don't, because I'm sure you do. Because guess what? I used to be like that too before therapy. After therapy, I learned, I was like, damn, I really gotta hold myself accountable. But you need to. There are so many people who complain about their lives, their relationships, their jobs, their bodies, etc. They aren't happy with anything. Their life sucks. Things never work out for them. They're blaming everyone but themselves. They're blaming everything under the sun. But in the reality of it is, you have the ability to change anything you want. You don't like your job? Okay, quit, find a new job. You don't like your body? Work out, go to the gym, eat healthy. Like, you are in control of your own life. People love to complain. They love to. But do they want to take accountability for their actions? No. You have the power to change anything you don't like about your life. Yes, maybe it's easier said than done, but you need to at least try. Instead of complaining, if you're going to constantly complain about something, you should be making sure you're trying to change it at least. Obviously, things aren't going to change overnight. Like, if you really hate your job, it's going to take time to find a new job. But if you're complaining and not even looking for a new job or not putting in the effort to try to make a change, then like, what are you complaining for? You're not making a change in your life. You're just settling and complaining. Like, we need to stop settling and complaining. If we're going to complain, we need to make sure we're trying to be better. Sorry, my dog started freaking out, so I had to like take a step back and see what the heck she wanted. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. It is so much easier to play the victim sometimes than take accountability for your actions. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone, or have you been this person and you did something completely horrible in the relationship, or they did something horrible to you, and then you either painted them out to be the bad guy or they painted you out to be the bad guy? It's just easier to play the victim rather than take accountability and realize what you've done wrong. We need to learn that we are wrong sometimes as human beings. We need to be self aware. That is huge with this mindset. It goes along with the if you wanted to, you would. You need to be self aware. I cannot stand when people have no self awareness. It is horrible, okay? It is the worst. You need to realize when you're fighting with somebody or having an argument with someone, there's one person that's either right or one person that's wrong. Like, there's always going to be disagreements, but you need to realize when you're wrong. Like, just because you're a hothead, I know I had trouble with this before. You need to take accountability and realize when you're wrong. I used to fucking hate being wrong, and I think it has to do with my mom because my mom can never admit when she's wrong either. But I was like that for the longest time. I would always think I'm right, even though I knew deep down I was wrong. I would still try to prove that I'm right, or I would just ignore it and just still think I'm right and just leave it at that. But no, nowadays, if I get in an argument with someone, I like to listen to it back in my head later and really think about both sides of the argument. And if I'm wrong, I'll really sit there and reflect and be like, damn, like, I actually made this person upset. I did something wrong. I'm gonna take accountability and apologize for it. That is huge. If you wanted to better yourself, you wanted to keep that person in your life, you cared about that person, you would learn how to take accountability for your actions and you would apologize. Apologizing is not a sign of weakness. For some reason, people swear up and down that apologizing and admitting they're wrong makes them weak. That actually makes you fucking strong. Because when you're weak, you can't admit when you're wrong. And it takes courage to admit when you're wrong and to admit that you could have done something better. Instead of constantly thinking that you are always fucking right. Just get your head out of your ass for a second. I know it was hard for me too. I had to really dig my head out of my booty hole because I had a big head, okay? It's hard, but we need to realize we're not always right. And that's a part of life. No one on this earth is always freaking right, okay? Now, let's go back to the making changes for a second. And I can't stand when people are always saying that they want to make these changes. They want this, they want that, but they just don't do it. Do you actually want it or are you just saying it? Like, I don't know. If you wanted to make a change, you would. Instead of thinking about what can you do better, you're getting into this negative mindset and like you're pitying yourself and just saying like nothing works out for me, everything is horrible, I suck, blah blah blah. Like, how about when something goes wrong? Like, let's say you started a really big project or you're trying to start this business and it doesn't succeed right away, which it most likely won't because your first everything is going to be bad. And if it fails right away, quote unquote fails, there's no such thing as failing though, it's a learning lesson, but you get my drift. You need to think what went wrong? What could I have done better instead of being like, fuck it, I'm not good at this, this isn't for me, I quit. No. It's so much easier to quit and that's why we do it. Just get your head out of your ass once again and just think about what you can do better. Really take note of what went wrong and just find ways to improve. Your first everything is going to be bad. Your first workout is going to be shit. Okay? Your first day at a new business is going to be shit. Your first YouTube video is going to be shit. Your first anything is not going to be great. I don't want to say shit, okay, but it's not going to be great. Your first anything is not going to be great. You just need to work hard for it because if you wanted it to work out, you would make sure it works out. And every little failure is a stepping stone in the right direction. You need to take it as a learning lesson. There's no such thing as failing unless you quit. And I've heard that quote and that sticks in my head like freaking glue. You only fail if you quit. And that could not be more true. Like, it is the truest statement I have ever heard because you only get better with time. You can do anything you want. There's no such thing as I can't. I never want to hear that word again. I do not want to hear I can't do it. I'm bad at this. Because guess what? You can and you can be good at it. You just need to see if you want it bad enough. Because if you actually want it bad enough, you will make sure it happens. And when things like don't work out, are they really not working out? Or are you just saying they're not working out because you don't want to keep trying? I've done that before, actually, with this podcast. Like 2 years ago, no, a year ago or something, when I first started, I got frustrated because my computer kept crashing because I was doing my audio on my laptop and the audio kept crashing. And I was like, fuck this. Like, this podcast isn't for me. I can't do it. It's horrible. and I didn't have my groove going. And guess what? I quit and I stopped doing it. And so many people wanted me to start it back up again, and I didn't realize that people actually cared about what I had to say and they wanted my advice. And I was like, you know what? Like, why would we quit? So I got back up. I got a new mic. I got a new computer, and I am trying because guess what? I want it bad enough. I'm going to put in the effort. Same thing with real estate. I also did a little quitsy in the middle of it because I was actually doing really well when I first got my license, but I got a little discouraged after a while, and because it's a lot of work, like unpaid work. And I was just getting discouraged because there was no instant gratification. And you need to completely throw that out the window because anything good isn't really instant gratification. A lot of successful businesses, a lot of success comes from hard work. Nothing is gonna be instantly perfect. And that is something I really needed to realize because I had a great real estate mindset. I knew I was good at it, but I just was scared because I was getting discouraged and I was getting mad at myself because I wasn't getting as many deals as I wanted to. But was I putting in enough effort? Was I making cold calls? Was I door knocking? No, I wasn't doing any of those things. And I just allowed myself to quit. And that means I would have failed if I didn't get my ass back up and get out there. And guess what? We got back into it. We're taking it more seriously. And we know now how the business is. So we're not going to let it discourage us. And that's what you need to do in every situation. Because there are things that aren't going to work out, there are things that are going to be bad. But if you fail, if you quit, then you fail. We need to really think if something's actually not working out or if we're just not putting in enough effort. Because those are two completely different things. I've experienced both. So we need to learn how to take accountability because if we really wanted something bad enough, we would do it. Okay? I want to thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope this helped you a little bit. I hope it really helped you learn how to take accountability and realize if something is super important to you, you would go after it. And if someone is super important to you, you would put in all the effort to make sure they stay in your life, to make sure they're happy, to make sure you're there for them no matter what. Because it is very important. Instead of always thinking, if they wanted to, they would, you need to start applying that to yourself, your goals, your friendships, your relationships. Apply it to your own life, and your life will change for the better. Trust me, you need to really get yourself in check because that will change your life so much. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope that helped you. Bye.